let's thank Manda and Jawan, who's going to be taking care of us tonight, and they've already done a great job. Manda and Jawan, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, at this time, I'd like to have Father Don Cordos give us the blessing. And Father Don, let's welcome Father Don. And Simca, it's the good twin.
Let us pray and bow our heads. Lord, pour out your blessing on all of us this evening, our families and our nation also. Your love is beyond our imagining. May we learn this deep love by your example and share it with each other. Lord, help us to turn hatred into love, violence into mercy, war into peace. And finally, bless this food, those who have prepared it, and we who are about to eat it. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Manja, manja.
Manja, manja. Thank you, Father Don. If we would stand, we'll have our salute to the flag. The flag is across the river. Robert, do you want to lead us? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Play ball. All right. Pirates should learn that. Okay. Once again, welcome. I think that Amanda's come around and made sure all the dinners are correct. I hope everybody was fine with that and that you get what you ordered. And I think that's great. Let's give Angela and Mason, her son, a round of applause also for always helping us out. Mason is actually thinking of joining the Washington Club. Richard Joel could be a mentor, I don't know. But anyhow, thank you, Angela and Mason, for that and all the help. Thank you. Oh, the Danny Baker duo, always with us. And you saw the back of the program. If you get a chance, you'll hear a little bit more. But Rick and you guys have a great Civil War event going on and a lot of activities tomorrow. And I think that there'll be some others that get into that. So thank you for being here, putting that together. And you've done an outstanding job, both of you. Thank you very much. As we're getting started, I'd like to call on our chairman. Don Carlucci needs no introduction as he's been a part of PAN for so long. And it's great to have Don here with a special presentation, a special message, and an opportunity for all of you. An opportunity, Mark. ask your buddy. Operators are standing by. Please welcome Don Carlucci. Don? If you know when Don's involved, you'll know that an engraver's involved. And there's no exception in this case. So he does have some special things there.
I figured the best way to do this without making a mistake is to read the presentation and what these plasters are all about. In February of 2022,
Don, this way.
I received a personal letter from the A&A board member, Sanford Pearl. Mr. Pearl was the A&A Awards Committee chairman. He was asking for my support in raising $75,000 for the proposed Chester Krause Memorial Distinguished Service Award. This would be the first ever award named in honor of Chester Krause for his numismatic and humanitarian accomplishments. What is most significant about this award is the fact that it will be bestowed on our PAN president, Thomas Uram. So, first time ever. That award's going to be given out at the American Numismatic Association 2022 World's Fair of Money in Chicago. Being that this is the first time that this award will be presented, that's both historical and quite significant. The founder of Carlucci Publications, Chester L. Carlucci, personally started and funded his periodical Numismatic News in October of 1952 by working off his mother's kitchen table. He basically wanted to reach out to all the rural collectors in America that were not close to a local coin shop, a local coin show, or a state coin convention. From the early beginnings, he became a virtual powerhouse in the numismatic community. He has been honored with almost every A&A service award. Now it's time for us to recognize him for the ultimate numismatic honor, the Distinguished Service Award. When I received the letter of correspondence from Sanford Pearl, I thought that the easiest thing to do was to send him a financial donation. However, after much contemplation, I wanted it to be more than that. I finally reached out to my longtime friend, Mr. John Mercanti, to assist me with this endeavor. John was born in South Philadelphia. At an early age, he started to demonstrate his God-given talent. Attending both the Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts and the Philadelphia College of Art, he was able to become a proficient illustrator for the United States Navy Department. In 1974, he started his career as a sculptor engraver at the United States Mint, working under the old Mint Master, the 10th Chief Engraver of the United States Mint, Mr. Frank Gasparo. Gasparo was a tough taskmaster, but he taught his student well. John, while working at the United States Mint, has created over 100 coin and medal designs. Finally, on February 3rd, 2009, the Executive Mint Director, Mr. Edmund Moy, made John Mercanti the 12th Chief Engraver of the United States Mint. Today, John is still working and still creating his metal masterpieces, metallic masterpieces. At 80 years of age, he's knocking out pieces for the Perth Mint, the Australian Mint, other world mints, and a host of private commissions. When I approached John about sending me one of his plaster models, autographed and framed, regardless of the price, he actually sent me a total of 6. I wanted to pay him for his endeavor, but since I was going to auction him off at a silent auction at a Pennsylvania Association Numismatics Convention on Saturday, May 21st, he wanted no monies for his efforts. Saturday at the silent auction, 2 of his pieces will be auctioned off. I shall have 4 more to auction off at future PAN conventions. Now permit me to digress. What we have tonight is John Mercanti's plaster model of the reverse of a half dime, and that goes back to the late 1700s, by the way, and a portrait of Ronald Reagan, mounted and signed. They are both original works of art. The process starts with a pencil design, transmitted into a design, then carved into modeling clay, then transposed onto a rubber negative. It's a liquid rubber that's poured over the clay. That actually becomes the mold for this plaster model. Okay. What you're looking at is an original work of art. In days to come, this can become a very prominent and valuable piece of original art in your collection. If an Andy Warhol painting of a negative of Marilyn Monroe can fetch $185 million in a Christie art auction, what might a Mercanti plaster model be worth in future art auctions? Whenever the art community finally recognizes that the artists, the sculptors, and engravers work in the United States Mint are the best artists in the country and quite possibly the entire world. At this convention show, I'm going to permit you in becoming a part of an art world that has not yet been discovered by the general populace. Finally, remember, if you have a collection of coins, medals, and paper currency, and you do not have a Mercanti mounted in autographed plaster, you only have half a collection. As you cast your bid on this remarkable piece, please keep one thing foremost in your mind. If I did not know John Mercanti, and if he was not my personal friend, and if I had approached him as a stranger to create a plaster model mounted and autographed, that private commission would have cost $10,000. That's what he gets for his models. He'll do anything for anybody, and it's not only Mercanti, but Don Everhart, Donna Weaver, all the people who used to work at the Mint, Joe Iskowitz, so on and so forth. You're looking at an original work of art that would cost you, if you had it done, $10,000. Okay, if you become the successful bidder tonight, you are getting the commission for free, which can only add to the value of this piece in future transactions. Now, I'm going to say something. We were going to put these pieces in a silent auction tomorrow. We were going to auction them off on Saturday at 2:15. When I was talking to Tom Uram and when I was talking to Mike Drabeck today, we were going to start it at $250 and say you could buy it now for $750. The reason for that, it would have been easier for all of us from the point of view, we wouldn't have had to wrap it because they were quite fragile and ship it and everything that goes with it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this tonight. And so if you wanted to buy it right now at $750, I'm the auctioneer. I'm not supposed to bid, but I'm going to bid. I don't have either piece, and everybody's free to bid against me. I'm in at $750 a piece. The buy it now number. Now, you can't let me steal this for $750. So we'll start with the half dime. I want to hear something from somebody after I told you what this is, what it's worth, what a commission costs. What I do with these, when I get them, I probably have in my own collection 250 plasters. I collect everything that the Mint engravers do. I like the drawings, the designs, and so forth. What I do when I get these pieces, I get them matted and framed under glass. And it's the kind of thing you could mount, put any place in your house. And if you had a half dime, the real half dime, you'd have it in your safety deposit box. This thing you could look at. Let's start with the half dime. I'm in at $750. Do I hear 800?
800.
There's 800. Okay, we have 800. How about 850?
1,000.
We got 1,000. Okay, we have 1,000. How about 1,050?
How about 1,100?
How about, thank you.
15.
Whoa,
Whoa, we got 15.
he moved those increments up.
Okay, well, we're going to go
I'm
in
doing
small,
math.
we'll go in small increments, 1,600.
16.
We got 16. Oh my, we got, hey, we're into 2,000. This is for Chester Krause and it's for Tom Uram. So we're
Wait a
in
minute. Someone did Tom? I don't,
Hey, we're in at 2,000.
how much of it goes to Tom?
He gets the award. John gets nothing. It goes, yeah, we have it in the $75,000 fund. So we're in at 2,000. We have 2,000 once.
I'm gonna weekly say 2,100.
Whoa.
Thank you.
And then I've got to say 22.
Not 25.
22.
Not 25. I didn't hear 25.
Did I hear 25?
No, 22.
I have 22 here.
And as a half-dime collector, that's all I collect. He even picked up that the A in the half-dime is weak. So this is not just, he just did it. He picked up on this coin, the half-dime should be weak on the A, and it is.
Perfect.
Just to give you a little more
Well, thank you.
ammunition.
Thank you for that. Okay, so we're at 22. 22 once, 22 twice.
Wait a minute.
Wait,
We have a
Shamrock.
gentleman there.
Uh-oh, late arrival.
Do you collect half-dimes?
2,300? We got 2,300.
But that's a very worthy bidder.
Okay, $2,300. Signed, autographed,
But not delivered. Signed,
Hand-
sealed, but not delivered.
hand delivered.
Well, not yet.
Okay. 2,300 once, twice, 3 times. Thank you so much.
I think Bill won it, right?
Yeah. No. That gentleman over there got it.
Well, I know. I was chatting. I missed
Oh,
it. I was
okay.
gonna keep it.
Do you want? All right. Do you want to read? Do you want to keep this
No,
going?
no,
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Okay,
But I would have.
the next one we have is the Ronald Reagan.
Oh, shit.
When you look at the Ronald Reagan, Morganti has his initial on the truncation of the neck, which is an absolutely beautiful piece. Whenever, in 1986, when the first silver rounds came out, with the heraldic eagle on the reverse,
Next to the lady in pink.
with the heraldic eagle on a verse, Marcanti did that. When the book came out, when Marcanti's book came out on the silver eagles, that picture of Ronald Reagan is in that book. That's a very historic picture. Okay, we're going to start out again at $750. How about 800 for Ronald Reagan?
Can I take a picture of you handing it to him and put it in?
What's up with
1,000. We have 1,000. I'm looking for 1,100.
You have to get the right light to tilt it.
I'm looking for
I
1,100.
don't know. Do you see it?
You can try it.
Okay. you know
We'll do
what,
one at the
Richard,
show,
I'm
too.
at 1,100. Thank you. Richard's in at 1,200. I gotta go for 13, Richard. I don't have it, so. Where are you at? Richard's in at 1,350. Okay, how about 1,400? 1,400. I'll tell you what, Richard's a good friend of mine. Richard, once, twice, 3 times. Richard Joe got the Ronald Reagan. Autograph is done. Hey guys, thank you very much. The check for this is going to be made to the A&A Association. I will
Step around and hand it to him. I'll get your picture.
Thank you. Thank you.
Got it. That went amazingly well, and I want to thank Richard and Julia. Julia, thank you from David Lawrence Galleries, and it's great that you're here with us, and thank you for your bid. Let's thank both Julia and Richard.
I think
Very good. And did Don Carlucci mention about the terms and conditions about the 50% buyer's fee and shipping and handling and oh, the tax too, that's right. There's state tax, there's that federal tax, and you know, Ben Franklin, that was a 1794 dime, so I mean, there's probably some providence where you had to add a little more for the colony on there.
I think George Washington signed it.
George signed it, George Washington. But once again, thank you all very much. That has to do with Brian here. Brian is the guy in charge, and he put everything together. And not only that, he made it real easy for us. As a number of you know, we had some additions at the end and so forth. And Brian, thank you. You guys were very accommodating. So thank you very much.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you. Before we get into our official program, I'm going to let Cliff and a few others finish dinner. But I'd like to recognize first the president of the fund, the Florida United Numismatists, Bob Hurst and his wife, Dreama. Bob, Dreama, welcome. Thanks for bringing the sunshine. With that in mind, tomorrow's a busy day at the show, and Rick Lank is going to give us a little preview of something that is new to us. And he came to Pat and asked about doing some things regarding the Civil War and so forth. So he's going to give us a little bit of background of what's going to happen tomorrow at the Civil War area. Please welcome Rick Lank.
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm really pleased that PAN has been so supportive of an inaugural showcase that features not only money, but a lot of the personalities that made the era between 1857 and 1867 so important to our overall culture. And we're trying to make some unique connections between personalities such as General Sherman and Apraham Lincoln, and some events that are numismatic in quality. They were not coin collectors, but they influenced our money, our banking, and just the ability to pay for a war of such an enormous and unprecedented level. Created the national banking system, full money, fiat currency. Women were introduced into the Treasury for the first time to actually sign and fold and cut the millions of greenbacks that were flooding into Washington to pay for the war. Anyway, we are going to have not only exhibits, but a number of talks. We're trying to make some of them nice and bite-sized, so we call them Talks in 10. The first one tomorrow at 11 will be with Wayne Homran, and he does Asylum, as you guys already know, but he will be doing encased postage. We'll be doing a special program with Abe tomorrow. But on Saturday, we'll have Bob Evans from the SS Central America. He actually will be in tomorrow too, but doing a special program with a reenactor who does he portrays what history is called Uncle Billy, which is what Sherman became known as during the war itself. But as a young man, he was a banker. He was in California. He was part of the gold rush, and he actually dealt with some of the private assayers that created these huge ingots that went down to Central America in 1857. He lost his job in banking because a number of banks failed when that ship went down. Anyway, bottom line is, Bob Evans will be in tomorrow and Saturday, and General Sherman and Abe Lincoln will be together at noon on Saturday in the showcase, and we hope you can all make it. We have the full schedule posted in front of the showcase, so you can read it, get a feeling for what's going on. But we thank you all, and we hope we can do more in the future.
Yep. Thank you, Rick. Thank you very much. And this is the first endeavor into this, and you know, as PAN goes, we like to be more than just another coin show. We like to have the educational aspect. We like to have all that it's about in the friendship and in gatherings such as this, and any new ideas. So that's what PAN's about. It's more than just a coin show. So with that, I'd like to make some comments on the next three speakers. The next three are going to be very short. No, just kidding. We have dessert coming up too. I was told, as talking to these three, that the average age is 205 years old. Now, Cliff, I don't know, Cliff, where you came into this conversation. On the underside. But they told me that you and I are getting older and they stay the same age. So we're skewing that curve. So with that, though, let's please welcome one of our seniors and one of our great fellow. It's kind of funny, I don't know if he's going to tell you or not, but when we were at one of the shows, we were at Central Station in Chicago coming out of the restaurant, and someone wanted to get a picture and so forth. Says, I always wanted my picture with Ben Franklin. He had a picture. Says, you're one of my favorite presidents. We just let it go. Please welcome Ben Franklin.
Thank you, Mr. President. I love him as a president. He's not nearly as abrasive as Adams was. All right, well, thank you, Friends of PAN. It's a great association, and in my time, I was certainly an advocate of societies, associations with the many that I founded and supported in Philadelphia. But here I am at the fork of the Ohio, the wilderness as it was in my day. I see it's quite improved. I'm very impressed with this structure here. As I'm told, it was a railroad, and I don't even know what that was. But it seems to have been done, they've done very well for themselves, and I'm pleased to be here. So. Just a word or two about PAN. I'm the official agent, as I were in the colonies in France and in England, with my arguing against taxation, the Stamp Act, and my bickering with the Penn family in Pennsylvania here. They said they certainly owned a lot of land here. They like we all, they didn't feel that they wanted to pay any tax. We did get a few donations to the Assembly House from the Penns, but yes, and I advocated that maybe we become rather than a royal colony with the under the auspices of the British Crown. That didn't go over very well with the Penns. So, but now here I am today promoting PAN, which I'm glad to do. But one of my joys has been my friendships in my reincarnation. And there's a young fella here behind me, and I'm told he was a president as well. Unfortunately, I never did become president because during Washington's middle of his presidency, I never lived to see his second term. I was dead. So I'm certainly a dead man on a currency note, but I was very fond of currency, as I printed quite a bit of currency in my time, and went on with David Hall, continued, and Sellers, and printed quite a few notes. Probably, I'm surprised how they've survived on the show floor. I was very concerned about quality of paper in my time, and I'm quite impressed that they have survived all these years. So I'm delighted about that, at least as I walk the show floor. And then not to mention the Libertas Americana, the Yu-Gi-Oh set, all these sort of elements of my life that are within the numismatic community, so it's been quite delightful. But moving on to my new friend, and I have to tell a little story, and he's quite the character. He said, well, Mr. Franklin, I've read a lot about you. And I said, well, sir, know not a single thing about it. So he has been catching me up, and I'm delighted in that. And I'd like to introduce, amazingly, 16th president. So we have been churning along. President Apraham Lincoln, if you wouldn't mind saying a few words.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you. Now we'll have a seat.
I'm gonna fall asleep now.
You can hear me, and I'm gonna come over here so I can see. Now, David, you're gonna have to turn around.
Yes,
well,
sir.
first of all, I want to thank all you folks for having me, and especially this fella here in this orange coat, because you know, a long time ago, he met me someplace, and he said, "You need to come to Florida." I said, "What do I need to come to Florida for?" He said, "Well, we have a corn show down there." And I said, "Okay." So I've been doing corn shows now since 2004, and I want to thank all you folks. But as my alter ego, I will try to make my story like the old woman's dance, short and sweet. So here she goes. I was born in Kentucky, raised in Indiana, lived in Illinois. I worked as a hired hand, a surveyor, a postmaster. I was a captain in the Black Hawk Indian War. I was a legislator, a lawyer. I was a husband and father. And in 1860, I was elected 16th President of the United States and the first Republican to ever have that position. I was a man of peace who was caught up in a time of war. I was a man of great humor, brought to great sadness by the deaths of nearly 900,000 Americans. But I will probably always be remembered for delivering a very short speech at a cemetery in Pennsylvania where some of our soldiers are buried. Now, the first 3 days of July in the year 1863, in and around the small little Pennsylvania town called Gettysburg, was fought the bloodiest battle ever to take place on the North American continent. 50,000 American lives vanished into the mist and smoke and flame of a human storm. Several months later, I myself was in that little town. I'd been invited by the governor of Pennsylvania to make a few appropriate remarks at the dedication of the cemetery where the soldiers were buried. I was not, however, the main speaker. That honor went to another gentleman. His name was Edward Everett. Ladies and gentlemen, Edward Everett was the most famous orator in America. He stood on the platform that day. He addressed the crowd for almost 3 hours. His speech was 30 pages long. Tell me what you think. I spoke that day a little less than 3 minutes. My entire speech only has 10 sentences in it. 272 words, and if there are any teachers among you, only 18 of those words had more than 3 syllables. It was a very plain and simple speech, and even though I thought it was a complete failure, some people said they remembered it. This is what I said on that cold November afternoon. I said, 87 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now, we're engaged in a great civil war testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We're met on a great battlefield of that war. We've come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It's altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate. We cannot consecrate. We cannot hallow this ground. The brave men living and dead who struggle here have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will no longer remember what we say here. But it can never forget what they did here. It's for us, the living, rather to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It's rather that we be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us. That from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, and that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and a government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. God bless us all, and God bless America.
Thank you very much, Dennis and Pat, also known as Ben and Abe. And you really haven't seen a traffic jam till you're at Central States or at the A&A, and you're over there in Rosemont. You got these two guys walking down the street in there, and you should see what happens to the traffic. They got people taking pictures out of the car and everything. I'm just like, we're getting killed out here. But anyhow, before Cliff comes on, we're going to have dessert or get them started on dessert, because I don't want you to be having to talk during all that banging and clanging. So we're going to take a few minutes here. By the way, it is the Pennsylvania and Lake Erie Railroad. If you want to go out in the areas that are out there, feel free to go through. You have to wonder, in the 1900s, you know, the different people that would have come through this building, and it certainly is a treasure and a landmark here in Pittsburgh. And so I hope you enjoy it during the evening, and feel free to go into the lobby and look at the pictures and so forth. But they did a tremendous job in restoring this building almost to what it was, and the trains do go by over there, and so that's what it was back in the day. There's some great pictures out in the hall as well. Now, we're going to do the dessert, and then when we are finished, we are going to do a photo on the staircase. So don't go rushing off. We're going to do a photo there. We'll send it over to Coin World and try and get some PR out of it, right there. So enjoy dessert, and we'll resume in a few minutes. What we're going to do first is the drawing, because Mason has school tomorrow. And Mason's, what can I say? You're going to write a Dr. Miller note. I don't know that it'll go over well, but once again, let's thank Angela and Mason tonight. They've helped us numerous times over these banquets. Thank you again for... I was running late as usual, and I just tried to, I met Angela in Canonsburg. I said, here's all the stuff for tonight. I'll get there like close to on time. So she had it all taken care of as usual. So this is going to be, first of all, I want to recognize several people who went above and beyond regarding the exhibit area and the prizes, and all of those have been donated by Richard Jewell, myself, Mike Drabeck, and Tom Corey. Everybody gave well over $500 each. And it really helps to promote the whole educational aspect. And thank you to those. And okay, so what do you think? Okay, I'll draw because I have no stake in the game. So this is for a proof 1/10 gold, right? It is yours. It really is.
I'm going to win it.
All right, here we go. 4674338. 10th ounce gold. Time to redraw. 4674338. I mean, somebody has it.
And just because I was
The successful underbidder.
Just because I was sitting beside him, that didn't do it.
I don't know. All right, Brett Irick has it. Past president of Central States, as well as involved in many Canadian. Let's congratulate Brett Irick. And if you recall, Brett was the very successful underbidder, so he's a true contributor to PAN. So congratulations, Brett.
Emergency case delivery.
That's right. We do need to thank Pat. We do need to thank Brett. On 2 days ago, I said we had a crisis regarding cases because Wayne Homran brought some up from Virginia that we bought, and Brett here brought 17 cases from the Polish Club up in Wyandotte, Michigan, or in that area, and he was instrumental in us getting through our case crisis. So let's thank Brett for that as well, because he loaded up the car. He couldn't see out of it. Okay. Now, Amanda has just told me, for those of you that have the so-called strength to have extra cheesecake, there are extra cheesecakes out over there. So while we have the next couple drawings, feel free to get a few more cheesecakes, if you'd like. Okay. Oh, there it is. Those are the two. Give me those two. This one is for the 2021 Carson City Dollar Slabbed NGC. 4673827. $3827? Oh, okay, great. Debbie, thank you. We'll get it to you. It'll come in the mail. No, it's here. It's here. The next one is for a Silver Eagle, type 2, 4673829. That might be a double winner. That's a double winner. That one you get at the PAN table tomorrow, but the Carson City I have here tonight. And another Silver Eagle. 4673961. 3961. Richard, all right. All right, I'm president. I'm going to draw a few more. Some more Silver Eagles. A couple more. We'll do a couple more. That's just because you're all behaving, nice and quiet. We'll see, Cliff. 4673941, Silver Eagle. And it has our it is slabbed, and it has our spring show label on it. William? Okay. Thank you, William. One more. One more. What's he giving you trouble?
He's blaming me.
Blaming you because loser.
I'm turning.
4674113. Oh, the last one. Ah. That's it. All right, Angela and Mason, thank you very much. Good night. All right. Before I introduce our featured speaker, I'd like to have, would all the board members of PAN please stand and be recognized? Richard and Mike, Randy, Donald, Liz. Where are we? Anyone else? Larry Huffnagel? Please give them all a round of applause. Thank you very much. Oh, there's Ben Franklin. Let's not forget Ben and Ed Hammond back there. Thank you, Ed. Anyone else? Did I miss anyone over there? Okay, gotcha. Okay, without further ado, I'd like to introduce our guest speaker tonight. And a number of you remember or probably saw where Kim Kipp was going to join us tonight, the Executive Director of the American Numismatics Association. Kim has had some personal issues regarding some health with some family members, not herself, but some family members. And I said there'll be other banquets, and for her to tend to that and not be here and be concerned and be worried. So keep Kim and her family in your prayers, and I think that things will work out. But she regrets that she could not be here tonight, but on the same, I told her that there will be other banquets. So please remember her. We're going to do a couple just real quick announcements. First of all, Brett Irick has a couple comments regarding the Canadian organization. Brett, real quick.
Thank you for inviting me to the convention. Rare to have a director of the Royal Canadian Numismatic Association here. Cliff Mishler and I have worked together on a Hands Across the Border program, and our convention will be held in Ottawa the third week of July, starting on the 19th. And for the 8th or 9th year, we have reciprocity, so you can register as an RCNA member.
Make a quick
and exhibit.
mention about the silent auction.
Dave Hunziker.
Do you want to do that?
Clifford
No,
certainly
you should.
attended our
You can do it.
convention,
You can do it.
and many others. It's not that bad of a drive in Ottawa. Downtown is very historic. Our hotel's about 3 miles from Farmland Hill. I hope to see many of you at our convention. And congratulations to Tom, and thank you for Clifford for his support, making sure our two organizations are working together.
Thank you, Brett. Thank you. As mentioned, Mike Drabeck's been in charge of what we call our silent auction. It's something new that was started just last show. And Mike, just make a few comments. We've already had a great start.
The silent auction is sponsored by the dealers. They donate to us, and many of the members have donated to us. And what we try and do is put items out that we can auction off to the public as they come through our venue over the next 2-3 days. And the way it works is you can bid on the coin, and we start every item, even the half-ounce gold we got last year from one of the dealers, we start at $1. And you can bid on that. But we do have a buy it now price, because we do encourage that if we can make our money, it's kind of good to do that and not have to ship it out on Saturday. So we do have a buy it now price, and we try and keep that about 80% of what the dealer would sell it for. So it's attractive for a lot of people. And the really happy note was last year, which was the first year we brought it back. I would say more than a third, maybe half of the coins went to kids that actually spent their own money and bid against each other and adults, and ended up with a coin that they wanted, and they got it at a great price. So it was kind of exciting on Saturday to do that. If it's any dealers or people here, you certainly can donate. We have 4 empty spots, so please get us something to support our club with.
Thank you, Michael. Want to also, once again, Bob, would you like to mention anything about the fun show coming up shortly?
Thank you, Tom. We have our 16th annual Summer Fun Convention coming up in July. In 2007, that was my first year as the president of Fun.
Say anything about summer seminar.
We decided to try a summer show. We did it in West Palm Beach, and I told the board before we opened the door, I am not going to be the first president with a failed show. Now, 16 years later, it's still going strong, and we appreciate any support that any of you can give us. Thank you, Tom.
Okay. And we thank Fun for the relationship that PAN has, and we've tried to outreach with a number of the organizations to continue to be. We're thankful for the opportunity to come to your show and represent PAN and continue to promote. That's going to wrap things up. I just want to say that our fall show will be coming up very soon. You know, before this one's going to be done, another one's coming. If you're a dealer, please remember that see Ed or Blaine but basically Ed and Blaine about Bourse applications, because I am told that the show is selling out fast for October. This has been our best and biggest show that we've had, and we want to thank all the dealers for that as well. But more importantly, you who are members of PAN and continue to support PAN, and our membership and the general public as we try to continue to promote the educational values of collecting through numismatics. And I think that we're achieving some of those goals for the short term anyhow, and hopefully the long term. The speaker for our fall show is going to be a gentleman by the name of David Cameron. David is a lead grader and very involved in Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. And we're working on it. We're hoping to do, maybe that they'll do some submission work and so forth. So we're developing that relationship, but he's going to be our speaker in October, and we hope to see you all there. In the meantime, I hope that you have a great summer. Hope that you have a great show, and God bless all of you, and be safe. Thank you all for coming. Now, we all go to the stairs. Everyone to the stairs. We're going to take a photo so we can send it in the coin roll. Sound good? Thank you, David, also. Let's recognize David for doing all the video work. David, thank you.